They play the same music over and over again. Get a new playlist, guys. Oh, there goes another bike unit. I don't know where they're going to go separate somebody. There's a Korean film crew, I think. This is the German guy doing his broadcast. I'll go back over here. I don't know, they're not getting started. They have a, oh geez, look at this, guys. These guys are sweating to death. They got the bear spray out. Oh man, these poor guys. They gotta be dying. This dude's gotta be dying, man. Capitol Police. There's some counter protesters over there. These poor guys are gonna sweat to death. No? Yeah, I mean, look at this. These poor guys are gonna just swelter in this heat. I don't know. So I think there's some counter protesters down this way. I can't really tell. There's one guy who's got this sign that says loser, and he's got like the name of someone. Oh, did someone else donate money? Hey, thank you very much. But as I mentioned, all my donations, I don't need your money. You don't have to donate. I just give the money to I give it to the homeless. So if I see some homeless guy, I will feed him with that. Thank you for your donations. So I'm actually in the shade right now. That's why I sort of stopped for a second, because, well, it's a lot cooler here. I did have a hot dog. It was okay. It was not a good one. It was, I mean, a 10:30 hot dog, you're not going to get like fresh cooked. You're going to get yesterday's hot dog. 12:10 and nothing's kicked off yet. Kind of Yeah, it's like a hot dog from yesterday. The white flags, the flags for the COVID victims are way over there by the Washington Monument. It's about 15 blocks from here. I put that up in my video yesterday. If you guys see that video yesterday, you can see that stuff. I have no idea who's going to speak. I don't know, we already had one hot dog today. We might get we might go to Rockland's today, get a barbecue. Was it Pop Rocks and Diet Coke will kill you or something like that? I can't remember my childhood memes. Bubble Yum has spider eggs and Pop Rocks mixed with Diet Coke will become a nuclear bomb or something. I don't know. I'm a child of the 70s and 80s. And Mikey's dead, right? The guy from Mikey, he likes it. He's dead, or he's like with Jim Morrison or something. They formed a band. I can't remember all my 1970s and 80s proper conspiracies. Do I miss Japan? I do miss Japan, but I actually lived in Hong Kong, so I miss Hong Kong quite a bit. But I like going to Japan. There's some good noodles. But Five Guys, that's a good idea too. Five Guys I haven't had a Five Guys in a while, but I've had a lot of burgers lately. How about something visually of interest? Yeah, I'd really like to show you something, but I'm not finding it. Oh, well, this guy's a press. So I see this guy in combat gear, but it says press. So it's kind of like, mean, these guys got combat rucksacks, but it's their press, so who knows. I'd like to show you something visually interesting, guys. Five Guys has hot dogs. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I just stepped in the mud. It rained a couple days ago, so it's kind of wet. Let's go find someone, yeah, doing something weird. Oh, finally. Something's happening. Quail, Miley. Is Quail even alive? Oh, that's the dude, yeah.
There are uniformed officers who I demand that you respect, you're kind to, you're respectful to, and you're obedient. You're going to keep us safe. There's a lot of violence going on members of the media. And I make the same request. I make the same request as them. You see somebody in members of the media, be kind and respectful. They may ask you if you'd like to be interviewed. Now, if you're not used to this, I would recommend that you don't. Because we've gotten a lot of misrepresentation. They're trying to say that this is a rally in support of the violent people who attack and kill police officers on January 6th. That is absolutely not what this is about. That has been misrepresented continuously. So we condemn violence, political violence in all of its forms. We don't want any today, and we condemn the political violence that happened on January 6th. Anybody who engaged in that kind of violence or property destruction that day deserves to be tried with a speedy trial, if found guilty, locked up for a long time. There's no argument from anybody on our side on this issue. This is about the many people who were there that day who have not been charged with violence, not been accused of assaulting a police officer, destroying property, and the disparate treatment they've received. This is about equal treatment under the law. This is about a public investigation into many of the things that happened that have not been investigated publicly or third-party oversight, especially the death of Ashley Babbitt. And this is about transparency, because we have a real issue with transparency in the aftermath of January 6th. Thousands and thousands of hours of videotape denied, not just from us, but from defense attorneys who need it. Mysterious investigations into Capitol Police officers' behavior, ambiguous press releases saying that some were sanctioned for something, but we're not going to say what it is. This is unheard of in police departments across the country, or if it's not, it should be, and it should be same here with the Capitol Police. So we condemn all violence, political violence. I'm demanding that you all are respectful and obedient police officers today. In fact, I'd like to start off. Can we please have a round of applause for the many police officers who are here today? We respect you. We know you have a tough job. We're not your enemy. And God bless you all. Now, what this protest is not about. It's not about President Trump. It's not about President Biden. It's not about the election. It's not about what you think happened with the election. It's not about any fringe third-party group. I already politely requested that a group that I saw with a off-message flag take it down. They were very respectful. They did that. I'm grateful. This is about justice and disparate treatment and equal treatment under the law. And I understand, I'm going to speak to the many people in the audience who look at us and say you're just insurrection 2.0. I understand that you hate President Trump and everything about his administration. I get it. And I'm not here to argue with you about that, okay? But that doesn't mean you have to hate what we're standing for today. It doesn't mean you have to hate our cause and what we're representing. That hatred,
I think most of the organized groups didn't show up.
Through grave injustice being perpetrated by our government against many fellow citizens.
Let's go try to find something more interesting to film. You guys want to hear his speech, or you want to go look for stuff out in the crowd? Hold here.
So we're going to have prayer to start things off, and what's a very important part of this prayer is an for America First.
Try to do a little of both, okay?
Your pledge. We have the anthem. Including this prayers for the Capitol Police officers who lost their lives in the aftermath of January 6th. For many people who died on January 6th. And that's extremely unfortunate. We regret that shouldn't happen. And they're close to our hearts and deep in our prayers. So we're going to open with a prayer from my good friend Ned. Ned, why don't you come up here?
Good afternoon. I'd like a moment of silence for the Americans and the police officers that perished on J6. Bow your heads and give them a couple minutes of silence and ask for God to bless them. Amen. I ask you, Lord, that you bless this crowd, that you bless these people, no matter which side of the political spectrum you're on, that you understand and know that God is in our presence, and that we understand and feel His presence in our lives, and accept His peace and His goodness and His love in our lives. I pray that all of you get home safely tonight, and that today you will learn and understand another side of the story. I pray for the police that are here, that they also return to their families tonight, unharmed and safe. And I pray for these United States, our leaders, our people. Dear God, help us as a nation and a people. Help us to overcome all of the differences that strike between us. Help us to live, to love, and to serve you as your servants, and to come together as one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Help us, dear Lord, to put aside our troubles and put aside all of the things that come between us. And I pray for the J6 patriots who are still locked up in prison, that are denied their rights, who are merely political prisoners. May you find the grace and the strength, may they find the strength and the goodness, and feel your love to overcome their hardships that they're now enduring. And may they have the rights that they are guaranteed under our Constitution. And I pray especially for the men and women of our armed services. May you watch over them, help them and guide them. Hold them and their families in your hands and protect them as they protect us. Bless them and their families for the selfless acts they do in our time of need. In these words I pray to you, Jesus Christ, or whatever God you believe in. Amen. Amen.
And now we're going to have Ben lead us in the
운동 때
Under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
This is a little bit of a different turnout than we had several months ago from our protests. Who was at that rally? I recognize.
and the police and the
So what is this guy selling water?
I'm cola.
See the crowd. Our message is reaching our fellow American citizens. We already have poll numbers that show essentially half of the public believes the government is holding political prisoners. That came from Restream. And it's not partisan. 45% of Democrats agree with that. In fact, yesterday, I had a wonderful interview, which is, you can see the full live stream because I don't chop it up. Put the full live stream up with my good new friend from MSNBC, Miss Yasmin. And after the interview, a guy who had watched the whole thing, I've never recognized before, came up and started to be rather critical of the line of questioning, saying that it was completely misrepresenting what this rally was about, that they can't paint every person hitting a police officer with a fire extinguisher or violence like that, or destroying doors or other property, with the people who walked in a few hours later not knowing what they're doing and are now domestic terrorists. They can't be painted with the same broad brush. And what was interesting to me is he said, look, I'm a liberal Democrat. This isn't about President Trump or Biden or your political party. It's about human rights, it's about civil rights. And I'm going to bring somebody up to say the pledge who's been persistent with us. She's been at all of our rallies. Ms. Monk, will you please get up here, I'm sorry, and sing the national anthem for you? She has a beautiful singing voice. And she's actually, and look, this touches on many other issues. When we were at that prison, we also said a prayer for the many others incarcerated who have nothing to do with Jason, who've been abused in the prison system, and I'm sure it's endemic everywhere. And this is an issue that should concern every moral human being. And it's something that concerns me, and I know many of the, or all of our Look Ahead America supporters here. And she's a champion for this cause here in D.C. She wasn't necessarily on her side politically, but she saw the treatment of those people on January 6th and in prison right now, particularly those who are not charged with violence.
Well, we could go down to the Antifa protest.
We're really proud to have her joining forces with us. Ms. Monk, please sing a beautiful national anthem like you do again.
Trying to tell me what?
I just want to first say thank you to Matt, and I don't
There are a lot of media.
I want to say thank you for the work that you are doing.
Why are people leaving? There's not that many people here.
We're over in that detention center right now. And I also want to let you know, for everybody who thinks that
I will go to the Antifa protest, but I'm probably going to have to log off and start again because it's on the other side of town. And I'll need to get a bike or something or a scooter.
Since January, the awareness to not only these inmates for January 6th, but the work that is going on in our detention centers due to the COVID protocol. They are forced vaccinating people. They are coercing people by keeping them in solitary confinement, and they've been doing that all year. We fought. We called Congress. We wrote letters. We went on interviews, and I got four members of Congress to go knock on the door. They were turned away by the fascists who run that prison. But we moved Congress with phone calls, so you can do it too. Never give up your ability and your voice to make a difference. This country is for all of us. It's for all of us here on the right and on the left. Everyone who loves freedom. Everyone who believes that freedom is live. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets red glare, the bombers in air, gave proof through the night.
You can't fly drones here.
That our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you for being brave enough to be here today. Really appreciate that. So now, one of the common features of many of our rallies.
The Antifa protest? We could go down to the other one. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should we go try to find the counter protesters, or should we hang here for a bit?
Yeah, so I
She
We'll stay for a while, I think.
I was pissed when that guy tried to snake in.
We'll walk around. TFI, isn't that France?
recognized the problem, and she used the First Amendment and her constitutional rights and her
There's some sort of protest going on at Freedom Plaza, 14th Street, supposedly.
So please welcome her to the stage. Thank you.
PBS.
And it's got the images right there with the other. Right, but the fact that they are still being held without bail. I would suspect, and I would have to look into it to see, I would suspect that many of the ones still being held are accused of nonviolent.
It was hot.
It seems like you looked at the actual documents. So why don't you tell me how many are still being held without? Yeah, exactly. The same answer I gave you. I didn't want to put it out.
Hey everybody, and thank you for coming out today. My name is Karen Casanova. I am the founder of Citizens Against Political Persecution. I would like to personally thank Matt for organizing this day today, which, take a look around. Do you see an insurrection? Who watched the news this week? Who read the media? Who is terrified to come here? You know, shame on the people, the system that put fear in the hearts of American citizens to stay home and to not come out. Many of whom have called me and messaged me begging and pleading for me to stay home because they feared for my life and my freedom. What kind of America has this become when people are afraid to come out and protest? This is a peaceful protest, and before I present some information to you later on, I would like to introduce one of the family members of the detainees in D.C. jail who is right now, as we speak, being held in solitary confinement. Her name is Kelly. She's the girlfriend of Jonathan Mellis. I would like to bring her to the stage. Kelly. And she's going to read a letter. So everybody please welcome Kelly. Thank you for your bravery. Thank you for coming today to stand up for the First Amendment and human rights across the country. I'm here for Jonathan Mellis, but I want to read another letter that was written by somebody similar who actually shares a wall with John and is subject to the same torture, including, well, John's in solitary confinement and he has been for no reason. That's a whole story. But last night for dinner they were served 4 pieces of white bread, a cookie, and a packet of tartar sauce. According to them, that's a nutritious meal, and they violated their own rule book on multiple occasions. So I think America needs to become very well versed in the treatment of these men. It's human rights that we're talking about, and it's completely nonpartisan. Amen. Dear Matt Brainerd, I just got off the phone after speaking to my son. He's a January 6th detainee in the Gulag of D.C. Over the months, I have heard of the horrors these U.S. citizens and veterans are being subjected to. Today, I have found out some more indignities forced upon them. He told me he's not allowed to shave or cut his hair. It's been 7 months now with no shave or haircut. As a veteran, he is supposed to be leading the veteran representing the people. He has yet to inquire. How can our country treat citizens and veterans in such a manner? As a mother, my heart is broken.
Сейчас говорят о тех, кто погиб.
Initially, he was granted bail, redacted, only to have it overruled by a judge in D.C. This judge made a statement that she wants all federal judges to be hard on insurrectionists. How is this allowed? He's not being charged with any violent crime. He's lost his job, lost friends, family and is in the process of losing his home. He's denied visits from family. His jailers treat these men like scum. There's absolutely no presumption of innocence. I just wanted to let your organization know of the terrible conditions these brave men are being subjected to. Even death row inmates get haircuts and are allowed to shave. This reminds me of how the Jewish people were treated by the Nazis. I never thought I would live to see such treatment in the United States. I've watched some of your rallies and wish I could afford to attend. I know that you sometimes read letters by family members. If you happen to read this letter, please don't reveal his name. I don't want any retaliation for his name. Thank you for all of your efforts, and please keep up the good fight. Sincerely, a concerned mother.
Oh, someone's getting arrested.
Thank you for being here. God bless America.
Detained.
Next up, I'm going to introduce Jeff Zink. He's the father of one of the political persecuted, one of the political detainees, and I can't imagine what it would feel like to be a parent and have a child in prison right now being held in solitary confinement with no bail, thinking that you brought this kid up in America with the Constitution and due process, and now your son and your daughter is being held in prison with no bail.
I think he had pepper spray.
He's the father of the political prisoner. Everybody needs to see the hand of Jeff Zink.
I'm not sure why he's being detained.
What did he do?
I I don't know, but it might have been pepper spray. Some of the people I've noticed have pepper spray canisters.
Got the helmet on, so we'll see what has happened. The reason I felt very
It says press on his coat.
You have a left pincer here, and you have a right pincer. Kind of a slaughter ball. So we feel very uncomfortable with this whole. I think Brainard knew that this was a slaughter ball.
High school units showing up now.
Looks like so they're going to make a cordon now with the bicycles around this. Going to be one on the right. One on the right over there.
I'm not sure what he got.
Come back here. Come back to me.
Sorry.
Behind you is the crowd. Get up.
My son was
Being detained. I'm not sure what for.
It was the wake up call.
On standby to the north side of the stage. Just come to the north side of the stage. That's
Tear gas gun. It is like a tear gas grenade launcher.
what he told me that happened inside there was the fact that they had several documents on the corner that they were not allowed to speak in.
Riot squad coming in.
Yeah, like just a tiny little.
This looks like that scene from Hot Fuzz when they were in the grocery store. I mean, doesn't it look like that scene? It's just bolognese. It's just bolognese. Oh, they're going out.
Hey, George.
Times like these, when good men and women are about to start standing up, we need to start saying no more.
Everyone back up a little bit. Please, back up.
God tells us to walk holy in this world and not to fear at all. Again, it is times like these that good men and women of God are about to
I'm not
stand
sure.
up.
A lot of the press have those RB backpacks.
How many people have been growing lately? This government wants to keep us silent. They want us out of the way.
Hey guys.
I will not be one of those who are going to be silent. I am not going to be afraid. I will not bow down.
I'm not sure what he did. There have been a few arrests, I
And
think.
it's time for people
Or detentions.
like you to stand up and start talking to these people. Thank you.
her hotel room, her computer was trashed by the FBI, and she was unable to attend. So I don't know who the man.
This guy made his own sign.
Yes, people, her computer was trashed by the FBI. Okay? You can't make this stuff up, guys. The FBI came to my house twice for peacefully protesting.
Oh, another group over here.
The Capitol. I was nowhere
Let's see what's going on.
And I been terrorized twice.
A lot of riot cops over here.
And that's left an indelible mark on my mind.
Oh,
And it makes
electric
me
scooter man's on the move.
So, thank you. I'm going to read read Nicole's letter that she had to write and send us a text message because she no longer has a computer.
So, something's going on over here.
And she said, my closest political prisoner, 376782, live with me by reference. He was arrested for a tort. He has been held sovereign over 20 hours. He is taken with 5 people of our position. 8 days against him who will not care for his government. And little or no reason to know or fellowship. No oversight or suspension. His faith is strong. I think that's 6 times. Well, we are all going to be
I think this is the new gear they got. Oh, sorry, mate, sorry.
Say their names. Ashley Babbitt, Roseanne Boylan.
Sorry.
Ashley Babbitt, Roseanne Boylan. Ashley Babbitt, Roseanne Boylan. Ashley Babbitt, Roseanne Boylan. Ashley Babbitt, Roseanne Boylan. Thank you. And I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about Roseanne Boylan in a little while and how the media said she died of a drug overdose, and that's absolutely false. Okay, back to Nicole's letter.
So,
They matter. And today we give a voice, as well as to my God. The false narrative of January 6th being an insurrection, but not one person has been charged with this crime, is doing nothing but tampering with the potential jury pool and perpetuating fear
So
with reality.
that team is now deploying closer in. I don't like that the SWAT teams or that the riot squads are moving towards the center. It's just
coming to our own nation's capital to exercise a First Amendment right.
It might be time to sort of back up a bit,
our
you know.
forefathers and criminalized by the
DC police love to do what's called kettling. Where they basically surround the protest and then arrest everyone inside. So you might just
in quotation marks, was ordered to shoot someone at random so they could say it was a deadly riot. That person happened to be a Air Force veteran and mother of 2, Ashley Babbitt.
Were you here that day?
Won't answer that.
Not saying you were inside, not saying you actually did anything, but were you here?
I will not say anything about myself or where I have been anywhere ever.
Okay. Alright. So, is it, frankly, is it demoralizing to see that there's more reporters than ralliers here today?
Like I said, I'm not surprised because, again, a lot of people were expecting a false flag attack today. So, the police have been ordered to use deadly violence at their discretion.
What do you think this is going to do to future rallies that center around the same ideology?
What this event will do, or what the left is doing as regards to the
lack of turnout today, actually?
I don't know. Since everything has been assumed to be a false flag setup ever since the 6th, I expect many people will stay away from any event, period. Unless a full-blown civil war breaks out, and even then many people won't get involved for your personal safety.
So you think that, you know, now that those seeds of doubt, let's say, as to whether any
certainty
event,
of doubt.
Yeah. You think that that's going to pretty much eliminate the chance of any large gatherings going forward?
No, I don't think it will eliminate the chances.
Okay. All right, but you still don't think that people are...
Okay? We the people will not be intimidated, we will not retreat. We the people will not leave our patriots to waste away in jail without a voice, without liberty. Give it up for the letter from Nicole Brock.
Good. Could I interview you?
Who unfortunately was able to make it today. It was a powerful letter. It was an honor to read it because her computer was taken by the FBI.
Get my focus.
We're coming to DC to
You want the Capitol in the background?
speak on behalf of pro-life veterans in DC prison.
Preferred. Thank you. So tell me, what... Okay, but let me get this. Okay. Let me get it from this side instead. So what do you think of today? How's it going today?
Well, there's a lot of media attention, obviously, to anybody that's holding up a sign is getting asked about it. I came down here because I believe we need to rebuild unity.
You know what? I'm getting so much audio from there. I got to actually, This is what, and I'll face we'll put the washing monument behind you. This is good. But, and I'll see the sign check. Yeah. Cool. Thanks. So you came down here, and what did you discover?
Well, I came down here.
As we all know, there was one death that day.
January 6th event was all about democracy. It was because they were furious because Trump told them the election had been stolen. And so they got outraged. And I'm glad to see that outrage. If they think the election was stolen, let's talk about it. But let's not invade the Capitol building. You know, we had problems with George Bush's elections twice. And, you know, we didn't go in and try to attack the certification process. We need to talk about it, and that's why I came down here today, was to make that outreach, to try and engage in discussion about integrity and transparency in our elections. And that's a discussion that I'm very glad that the Republicans are finally starting to want to address, apparently. But the way they're addressing it across the country in state after state, Republican-controlled states, they're working to suppress the vote. They say they're working to make voting easier and cheating harder, but the effect of what they're doing is just the opposite. They're making voting harder and making it easier for legislators who are in control to manipulate the election. So it's a disingenuous interest, although I believe that for Republicans as a whole, that honest democracy is a real value, because it's been our proudest birthright. We go to war over democracy. You know, come on. So let's keep it honest.
So.
Do you mind if I ask you that on camera, like over there?
Oh, yeah. Well, you don't want to hear these people screaming? Isn't it fun? No, but I just don't. Just too bad because like my can't speak that well again. So
No. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
I don't know if you like that answer. I don't know that answer.
Honestly, I'm looking for an honest answer. Whenever
they love their country, not to attend a peaceful protest to advocate against the abuses being perpetrated on U.S. citizens for the events of January 6th. I take personal offense, and so does everybody here. You have attacked the rally that I am co-hosting. You are directly responsible for stripping away the constitutional rights of millions of American citizens that do care and want to stand up and attend this rally, but you fear-mongered them into not coming. How could you be so heartless to desecrate our First Amendment constitutionally protected right to peacefully assemble? You have abused your power and platform as Speaker of the House to libel and slander us. You have abused your platform to contaminate the jury pool by calling January 6th detainees killers and saying everyone here today is here to support killers. Nobody was killed that day besides American citizens, and that was not by any detainee. Thank you. And thank you to the mainstream media for saying this was going to be a white supremacy rally. Do I look like a white supremacist to you? I'm Chinese and Italian. Like a white supremacist to you. I voted Chinese and Italian. I voted feminist. I voted for Donald Trump twice. That's right. I am not a white supremacist, and I'm sick and tired of the narrative that people that support these prisoners and that support justice in America and freedom are white supremacists. It's a means to divide and destroy distract us. And I'm asking you, mainstream media, to please stop dividing and distracting the American people. Please stop dividing and distracting us. We have more in common than we have different, but according to you, we should be enemies. My website is and my name is Kara Kashnova. Please follow me on social media so that you can get all the information on all the 4 deaths that they said were natural causes, so you can find out the name of the police officer who beat Roseanne Boylan as she lay on the Capitol steps unconscious. We have the video, and there's other video under court order that cannot be released to the public that people have seen, where it clearly shows that a DC Metro police officer beating her senseless. And there's patriots being charged in prison right now for trying to help her and trying to get the police officers off of her. That is why they're being held right now in DC prison. The website is www.citizensapp.us or www.thepeoplesjanuary6thcommission.com. My name is Kara Kashnova. If you want to see the video, please talk to me after the rally. I have no problem showing it to you. Thank you, Matt Brainerd. This is a peaceful, amazing event, just like he said it would be on the news. A lot of times you guys refuse to report on. Peaceful protest, everybody. Not insurrection part 2, sorry. Thank you so much, Matt, for all you do.
Now that's a tough act to follow. And I thank God every day that we found each other and that she has the courage to stand up and do what she did. She did it all on her own. She just woke up one day and saw an injustice and acted. And any one of you can do the same. So I want to make a little reminder. We've got a wonderful security force, the Capitol Police and the other police forces who come far and wide to make sure this is a safe event, or to appreciate your cooperation in that. So there have been some members of Congress who have been stepping forward and helping to lead in this fight, and we're very grateful to them. They're very grateful to them. Actually, let's have a round of applause for those who went to the prison, who signed letters. But there's a problem. There are far too many who haven't done anything. In fact, there are far too many who are actually lying about what we're doing today, as Kara told you. And in fact, the political leadership has advised them not to participate in our rallies today. Now, I read the Constitution. I think maybe you read the same Constitution I did. Larry. My understanding is that the elected officials that we send from our states and congressional districts, that they're supposed to work for us and represent us. That we're their bosses, right? Who is their boss? And I think that some of them have forgotten that. Some of them seem to be more afraid of the political leadership up there than they are of their constituencies. And I mean that in an entirely peaceful way. But you guys, when you go back to your states and hopefully attend some of the 17 or more state rallies we have coming up in the next couple of weeks, you've got to remind them. We're here to talk to them. Now, there's no extremely courageous gentlemen. And you know, I say even better than the Congress coming to see. Not only are two people. And the amount of coverage, and I want to make it clear to you, both of these guys, we set up the open call and said, hey, if you're running for office, you're legit.
Oh, you guys, they're not arresting anybody. Oh, they're just give him a beer, I bet he'll take it. I'm bringing a scooter out here.
They go ahead and swing over to PG down Maryland Avenue.
Hey, back it up a little.
Why is it ordered?
Right in the Border Patrol.
Entire Border Patrol. That's they got that covered. Oh, okay. Yeah. We spent billions of dollars.
And it is our government's duty to protect our rights, not to use them or our law enforcement as political pawns to advance our God-given constitutional rights. That's what makes our
I got brain freeze, cold waters, y'all. Ice cold waters. Stay hydrated. I got you hydrated.
And it is our government's duty to protect our rights, not to use them or our law enforcement as political pawns to advance an agenda. I chose to attend this rally to support our constitutional rights, the laws that govern our nation, the laws that govern those J6 political prisoners that are being held today.
And those laws should apply to every American citizen.
Now, I don't want to pretend to know who's innocent and who's guilty. But I tell you what I do see.
I chose to attend this rally.
I see people who are being held for nonviolent crimes, and they deserve their day in court.
Govern our nation and the laws that govern those J6 political prisoners that are being
They deserve to have their 6th and 8th Amendments upheld. Otherwise, they do. They are political prisoners, and they are being used to suppress law-abiding American citizens from expressing their First Amendment rights.
And
the current administration, they are being used to suppress law-abiding American citizens from expressing their First Amendment rights. They want you to believe that. And the current administration, they have to believe and a lot of them, they're not even slated to see trial until next year. I tell you what, you won't find an example of that from Minneapolis or from when this nation's capital was on fire the summer of 2020. I tell you what, the American people are not stupid. We can see it with our own eyes, the difference in the treatment from our federal government because of someone's political beliefs. And that's regardless, it's regardless of how the news media tries to spin it or what they tell you. Y'all, I'm Mike Collins, and I demand that the federal government begin trying those accused, the J6 political prisoners, being detained immediately, especially those being held for nonviolent crimes. Thank you. Thank you.
Quite a speech. Let's have another round from Mike. That's I mean, look. Think of all the people up here, too stupid and cowardly to come speak to you, but Mike's not. Mike has your back. Do we have Mike's back? And I tell you, it's a great privilege to introduce another great patriot. I've known this gentleman since about March, and the moment I heard his story, I couldn't help but have a deep felt respect. This is a man who served our country for 20 years overseas on 11 combat deployments in the Special Forces. And he made the ultimate sacrifice, I think, that he is a Gold Star husband. He lost his wife, who's fighting for our country in Syria. Now he's running for Congress in Washington's 3rd Congressional District. He's a remarkable gentleman, and I urge you to listen to and heed his words. Please give us some applause for Joe Kent.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for being out here.
We're all here for the same reason, because we know our brothers and sisters, our fellow Americans, regardless of what walk of life they're from, what political party they're from, have the God-given right to due process. That's in our Constitution. Those rights were given by God, not by man. Man cannot take them away. But we have to fight for them like we're doing right now. We're peacefully out here fighting, making our voices heard. I'm an honor to be a small part of it. I'm out here because, like Matt said in his great introduction, I had the opportunity and the privilege to serve this country for a little bit over 20 years. And when I was serving this country, the thing that I had in common with those I went to war with was that we are all Americans. Our political leaders, they didn't think twice about sending us off on useless, endless wars that were of no gain. But all of us joined, all of us fought, many of us died, many of us still carry the scars from war for one reason. We believe in this country, we believe in that flag, we believe in everything that it stands for. And when there is an injustice done to any of our brothers and sisters, our fellow citizens, when their constitutional rights are taken, if we do not speak out against that, we are guilty of standing by and watching those rights erode. Make no mistake, what governments do overseas, they will do here, and they've already started. It's banana republic stuff when political prisoners are arrested and denied due process. That happens overseas all the time. Unfortunately, we conducted operations like that when I was in Iraq serving overseas, and it did nothing but further radicalize people. It is very dangerous. Our founders gave us protections in our Constitution to make sure that those things did not happen here in America. But that is running off the rails right now because too many Americans just think that it's not their business. I'm not part of that political party, so I'll let those guys get detained and have their due process denied. That's not the way this works. This is a slippery slope, and we are on it right now. And if we don't start fighting back and pushing back, call your elected officials, call your representatives, show up at every single rally that Look Ahead America is having for these political prisoners. Be their voice, because it's not even just about them. It's about our forefathers who gave us these rights, who fought the revolution. It's about every single veteran who's ever deployed overseas, who's ever been killed. It's for everyone in Arlington National Cemetery. And it's for all these law enforcement officers too. The law enforcement officers are on the front lines every single day defending our rights. They're defending our rights, putting their lives on the line day in, day out. I'm extremely grateful for all of them that are here today. I'm extremely grateful for all of them that were present on January 6th. They are not our enemies. Our enemies are those that will deny people of their constitutional rights and then take a narrative that labels all of us as terrorists or insurrectionists for just questioning things. It's our God-given right and duty as American to actually question things, to question the narrative. That's our job. I can't thank all of you enough for being out here. Keep the shoulder to the wheel. We are the majority of the country. Keep speaking out. We will take this country back. God bless America. Thank you.
USA! 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 USA!
USA! USA! USA!
Hey, Robert, we ready to start rolling pictures and stuff? Okay. So I want to show you guys. Show you guys the insurrection. Robert, give us A. Let's see A on the screen. Now I don't know if you guys can see that quite from the sunlight. It looks like the picture's a little cropped, but that's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez leading. No, do not boo her. No. We're not booing people today, okay? We're not booing people. But that is her insurrection, right? At the Speaker's office, interfering with government business, trespassing, parading. Let's see the next picture. B, let's go to B, Robert. This man has not been accused of violence. This man has not been accused of destruction of property. He has been accused of dressing horribly, I think. It's a matter of opinion. But what he did that day, and if anybody did anything similar, does not deserve 9 months in solitary confinement. Without conviction. No conviction, 9 months in prison. Denied bail. Denied medical care. He is suffering. In fact, his mother was going to come speak to us today, But she was intimidated out of her First Amendment rights, out of fear, out of all the fear-mongering surrounding this. So all of you are out here for her because she could not be out here. Let's go to the next, let's go to C, because this is kind of the point. Let's go to C2, C2, Robert. I'm sorry, let's go to B2, Robert, let's go to B2. Now, I put that up there because I showed you one picture and I showed you the second picture, and the truth is it's the same picture. It's people exercising their First Amendment rights in the wrong way. And I admit it's stupid, and I admit there should be a penalty to it. I support it. The thing is that historically, at the Kavanaugh hearings, where people were arrested over and over again for storming the Senate office building, they stormed the hearings. They were arrested, bailed out, went back and did the same thing that day, over and over again. It's the same picture. Now, Robert, let's see C. I know, because it's a meme. A and B are the same picture. That's the joke. Forgive me if that one went over anybody's head. A and B, AOC, and our shaman friend, it's the same picture. They're doing the same thing, engaging in the same behavior, but very different outcome. Why? Not because of what they did, but because of what they believe. That is unconstitutional, that is immoral, and that's what makes them political prisoners. So let's go to image C, please. Now, whenever I've been interviewed lately, the media always likes to run this footage next to me of the most violent moments of the rallies, of the protest on January 6th. Even though I expressly say anybody engaged in violence belongs in prison, we're solely here for the folks who've not been charged with any kind of violence activity, assault, or destruction of property. They always run the B-roll next to me because that's how disingenuous they are. That's just how they operate, right? Can't do anything about it, really. But that's pretty much, those are the people we're talking about. These are folks who are assembled in statuary tall, being peaceful. Now, Robert, let's see image D, please. So those are people illegally assembled in that building, being rounded up by police officers with zip ties. They were all released that day and fined between $35 and $50. Now, the message I'm trying to send here is that this disparate treatment that I seem to have to explain to every reporter like 6 or 7 times, they don't seem to get it. So maybe some pictures will help them, because I know that everybody that showed up here on behalf of LAA, you all understand this. This is real. Let's go to picture E, please. Again, this image is from a hearing room, interfering with government business. This is the same thing that the political prisoners have been charged with. Yet they've had the FBI break into their house. It's not the individual agent's fault, really. It's their orders and the political leadership back behind me and at the Department of Justice. But those people are having their doors kicked in and being rounded up in the middle of the night and dragged to Washington, D.C., denied bail, have their lives destroyed, losing their homes, losing their jobs, some cases losing their marriages because of the stress of it all. These people did exactly the same thing, released that day. No one called it insurrection. Media barely reported on it, and when they did report on it, it was favorably. Robert, let's roll video F, please. Let's roll video F. We're only going to roll it for the first couple of minutes. Turn up the volume, please, if you can. So this is footage. I can annotate it. This is footage of President Trump's inauguration. It's a large crowd, clad in all black, violently attacking the police, trying to penetrate the lines, the secure border where the inauguration was taking place. They assaulted police officers. They destroyed property. They actually injured a journalist and his sound guy. Cars were destroyed. Businesses were destroyed. Now, we never heard the word insurrection. We never really heard too much about it. Now, 200 of these people were actually charged with violence, assaulting police officers, destruction of property, etc. Over 200 of them had all charges dropped. Are you getting it now? Are you journalists who ask this question over and over again 7 or 8 times? Are you getting it now? Can I make it any more obvious? That is exactly what this rally is about. It's not about the people who are violent that day. I'll say it all day long. We condemn that. Those people belong in prison. But I actually have a friend who showed up a few hours after the original perimeters were breached. He walked into the building. Nobody stopped him. The doors were open. He walked all through it, took pictures, investigated, walked out. Now, the FBI isn't going to visit him. He's not going to be prosecuted because he has sort of a get-out-of-jail-free card because he was a member of the press. No, we're not booing anybody today, okay? We're not booing our press. They're our friends today. Not right now. No, but the point is that anybody showing up late or not knowing what they're doing or getting caught up in the moment could easily have fallen into that trap. Could easily have. And as did many violent protesters at Kavanaugh, when AOC stormed the Speaker's office, and something you guys never even heard about. 2 months ago, environmental protesters blockaded the White House. Sunshine Group or something. They were arrested and released that day. No long-term consequences, no FBI visits, no lost jobs. In fact, when the little media that did cover them reported them mostly as heroes. We cannot have a two-tier justice system in this country based on what you believe in. I don't care what your political stripe is. It's intolerable, and we're going to stand up and continue fighting for these people. And look, I also happened to talk to my good friend who's here, my new friend from MSNBC, Ms. Yasmin. I asked her a question yesterday. I said to her, the Capitol Police leadership, they announced that 6 officers have been sanctioned after 30 investigations into their behavior on January 6th. Now, I asked her, do you know what they were sanctioned for? I got a blank stare back. And the reason, it's not her fault, it's because they haven't said. It's just an ambiguous press release saying 6 officers were sanctioned, had their careers damaged for something that happened on January 6th. That's the same problem that we're pointing to. And here's the thing. Maybe what they were sanctioned for, maybe that's unjust too. Maybe they're just like our brothers and sisters in the prisons. Maybe they're facing sanctions for political reasons or being scapegoated. We don't know. We demand transparency, and we demand that the 14,000 hours of videotape of what happened on that day is released. And I ask our friends in the media, hold on, I'm a little older. I remember there was an allegation of a religious text being flushed down a toilet in Guantanamo Bay. Now, that was a story for weeks, and it was covered despite the fact that the media knew that it would result in violent reaction in Iraq and elsewhere against our troops and get our troops killed. They knew that, but they still put it out there. God bless them. Now, I just wish they would have the same fortitude when it comes to demanding the release of these 14,000 hours of videotape. It seems like the kind of thing the media would be curious about. It seems like they should be our allies. I mean, most FOIA requests are filed by journalists. And they need to demand to know exactly what those 30 charges were, how they were adjudicated. We're on the same side here, guys. So I want to close with something here because I don't want to keep you guys too long. And I want to get everybody out here safely, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I want to applaud you for a moment because it took real courage to come out here today. You have my respect, and I also am internally grateful to each of you for trusting me. Because I was the one that told you to come out here. I was the one that told you get here safely. It wasn't a false flag. And so many voices on the left called you killers and slandered you. And so many of I called them armchair patriots on the right, said this was a false flag attack, and that you shouldn't come. And my inbox is full. I constantly hear from people, you should call it off. Don't do it. But you stood up, you withstood that. And this is about a very important cause, but it's also broadly about something much more important because the political leadership in this country, it's a dirty secret, okay? When you are upset about a political problem and you're angry, they actually want you to do what happened on January 6th. They want violence from us. They want us to cross the line. They want us to destroy property. They want us angry. Because when you break the law, they can deal with you very easily, as you've seen. They send the FBI after you go into the gulag. Especially if you're guilty, you deserve it. But that's what they want, because it's easy to deal with the political opposition that's violent. But what's the lesson that we've learned from people like Gandhi, or Martin Luther King, or the civil rights movement in this country? I'll tell you what terrifies them. This is what terrifies them. A peaceful assembly of the America First right. We're operating within the law. We respect the Constitution. We love the First Amendment. We love our police officers who have a very difficult job. When we show up at school board meetings and use our First Amendment rights, when we educate our state legislators, when we come to Washington and demand justice, peacefully, orderly, this is what terrifies them. This is why they didn't want you to come. But we're not going to be stopped. Peaceful community organizing from this day forward belongs to us. And I know that many here, many watching are upset about the election. I understand it. I'm upset too. But the reaction that we saw on January 6th, it was stupid, it was wrong. And what I'm asking you, anger is dangerous. Anger gets turned inward, it's self-destructive. And it spills out and becomes destructive in the world. What I'm asking you to do is to take your anger and channel it into something productive. And to channel it into working as a volunteer with Look Ahead America or Citizens Against Political Prosecution. Work within the law, work peacefully. Do not give up on our Constitution. Do not give up on our country. Do not give up on voting. Do not give up on petitioning our government. Take that energy and give it to Look Ahead America. Help us make this a better country. Help us save this country. Help us fix our election system. Help us get justice. Help us get our schools to respect our history and our founders. Sign up with us. Volunteer with us at lookaheadamerica.org. We will put you to work, and it will be difficult. Difficult to stand outside a Costco for 30 minutes or for 3 hours in the hot sun to register new voters. That's difficult, especially when they constantly kick us out. And if anybody knows the CEO of Costco, I'd like to chat with him because we're doing God's work. They should be nice to us. Those are our people at Costco. It's hard to register voters. It's hard to write letters. It's hard to come out on a day. It's easy to sit behind a computer and type and spread disinformation and fear. That's easy. Coming out here is hard, and you will forever have my respect for coming out here today. You will forever have my gratitude. And if you ever happen to cash me out in the civilian world, tap me on the shoulder. I owe you a beer. Not today, though. Not all at once, please. My wife will kill me. So look, may God bless you. And before we go again, I can't emphasize this enough because these guys are trying to portray us as standing up for killers and people who assaulted police officers. We hate that. We'd never do that. Anybody who's ever done anything like that does not belong in this movement, is condemned by Look Ahead America. We condemn it, we condemn it, we condemn it. But this is about disparate treatment of the nonviolent people. This is about the lack of transparency. This is about the great cause that Kara said, indicated that there may have been additional victims that day, and we need transparency. We need that video. Release the video. Let's get a cheer going. Maybe the journalists will join in with this, because this is First Amendment stuff, right? Come on, journalists. Release the video. 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 It's a First Amendment thing, folks. Don't worry. Yasmin, if you start cheering with us, I won't tell your boss. We won't get you fired for cheering with us. So I want to bring things to a close here, but I do want one more round of applause because look, a lot of the guys that are out here today, they're doing their best, they're doing a job, they're ordered here by political leadership who, I appreciate everyone keeping us safe today. I'm a little bit of overkill, but look, I respect it. Hey, I'm in the business of community organizing, okay? That's what I am. I'm an America First community organizer, and someday all of you will be too. But setting up and keeping us all safe, that's not my area of expertise. I really respect the people who came out. The Capitol Police have done a wonderful job communicating with us, letting us know. I want to thank, I actually would like to thank the individual officers by name, but that will only get them in trouble. So they know who they are, the ones we've been talking to and Ms. Kim we've been working with. You have our eternal gratitude and respect. So let's have a round of for all of the police officers out here today, from Virginia, from Maryland, from, I think they flew in a SWAT team from Puerto Rico. They were so worried about us. And I want to give us some exit instructions, okay? So DC is historically a pretty dangerous city. What I'm asking you to do is, I want you to leave. We're going to play exit music, and my good new friend Robert knows what we're going to play on exit. On your way out, give a smile and a wave to any cop you see, okay? Just give them a smile and wave. Tell them we appreciate their service. Any journalists, just smile, but keep on walking. But stay in groups, at least until you get out of the District of Columbia, because believe it or not, unlike other rallies, I take your safety personally. It's my personal responsibility, and I'm going to be the last one to leave here along with my security team. So the sooner you get out of here, the sooner I can get out of here, and we're going to do this again someday, and we're going to keep fighting. This battle doesn't end today. In fact, I think this is the beginning. This is the beginning of the America First right taking over community organizing in this country. I'm so proud of you I could cry. I'm so proud of you all.
USA! 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 USA!
So, God bless you all. Leave in large groups. If you see somebody walking out alone, say, hey, why don't you come with us? At least until you're out of the District of Columbia. And I want you to stay safe. And look, again, you had to ignore a lot of people that told you not to come today. You heard it from everywhere. But I want you to go back out there and tell them that we're not giving up on this. We're not giving up on protest culture. We're not giving up on petitioning our government. We're not giving up on the First Amendment. And we're not going to be tempted by the dark voices saying that apathy and even violence are the only answers. We reject that. And you go back home and you told them you came today, and you tell them what you saw. And anybody that told you that this was a false flag attack or a trap or anything like that, remember their names and never trust them again. God bless you all. America first, America forever. Now go home, please. Thank you.
To remind myself how I tried so hard, in spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property, remembering all the times you fought with me. I'm surprised it got so. Things aren't the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. You kept everything inside and acting like I was part of your property, remembering all the times you fought with me. I'm so
Thank you. God bless you.
Take mine.
Thank you. That's all right. Water. Oh yeah, that's all.
Satellite echoes of pain 24/7. Satellite